Hi, this is Devasri. Welcome to you to the journey of literature. Today I am going to share with you one of the most important topic from criticism, that the Aristotle's concept or the theory of imitation. Listen to me carefully because it is one of the most important in criticism that I am gonna to discuss with you. And one more thing, what I am presenting here in this video for you, you just take it and put it in your exam paper just because to getting so many scores. Remember, never do like that, because in my point of view, what I am presenting or preparing for you, all these pinpoints were only for your better understanding. So firstly, try to understand. If you have any objection, please text it in the comment box. Let's start our topic, Aristotle's concept or the theory of imitation. Before we start the topic, it is important to have some idea on imitation, like what is imitation and what is the meaning of imitation actually is. So the word imitation has great place in literature. Aristotle explained the meaning of this word in order to defend poetry, which is called Aristotle's concept or the theory of imitation. Although he was not first to use this word, yet he comes first to redefining its meaning. The word imitation was used as a synonym of the copy of copy. Before Aristotle, Plato used this word for first time. He was presenting the considerable view that poetry was the shadow of shadow, thus it was the twice away from reality. It is better to understand the meaning of imitation as demonstrated by Plato before discussing Aristotle's concept or the theory of imitation. Plato's idea of imitation. Let's see. Plato provide the example of a carpenter who is making a chair. The idea of chair in the mind of a carpenter is real, and the chair is copy of that idea. So the idea of nature by God is real, and nature is copy, and poet copied the nature, by which poetry twice removed from reality. It is a shadow of shadow, copy of copy. Plato was of the view that world had been created from an idea. The idea was an original thing, whereas this world was its copy. Now we focus on the point that Aristotle's concept or the theory of imitation. Aristotle answered to Plato and refuted charges against poets. He redefining the meaning of imitation. In simply words, we can say Aristotle agreed that the world was created from an idea and the world was its copy also. He also agreed that a poet imitated the reality or the nature, but meaning of the word imitation did not mean mere copy. He didn't consider the poetry twice away from reality. Aristotle's concept of imitation is not mere copy but presentation of the ideal reality. Poet doesn't represent the outward appearance but represents deeper reality. He says that poetry deals with the ideal reality and the significance of poetic truth that is universal, essential, and permanent. According to Aristotle, poet is a creator, not mere copier. Three types of mode in Aristotle's concept on theory of imitation that I prescribed on your screen. First is medium of poetry, or we can say imitation is a creative process. Second one is objective of poetry, and the last one is the manner of poetic imitation. Now we discuss on these points. Epic poetry and tragedy and comedy, also and dithyrambic poetry, as also the music of the flute and the lyre in most of their forms are in their general conceptions modes of imitation. They differ, however, from one another in three respects: their medium, objects, and the manner or the mode of imitation being in each case distinct. According to Aristotle's Poetics, there are three modes of imitation in the eyes of Aristotle. First, tragedy. and second one is comedy, and the last one is epic poetry. Let's come to discuss about the three more in Aristotle's concept on theory of imitation. First, imitation is creative process or the medium of poetry. Imitation is a creative process in the eyes of Aristotle. He links poetry with music instead of painting. He says that poetry is pleasant, just like a flute sound that is full of harmony. Therefore, it is not right to compare poets with the painter and the poetry with the painting. Language is also common elements of poetry and music also. In his point of view, idealist representation of character, emotion, action under forms manifest in sense. It is accordingly in the Aristotle's Poetics. He means a poet doesn't tell a lie. He imitates things from his mental power which can touch the sense. Therefore, he brings the nature closer to reality. Second, object of poetry. According to Aristotle, the object of poetry is man in action. In the tragedy, the man is represented better than average, and in comedy, worse than average. Aristotle doesn't give the importance to the imitation of men as they are in real life. The third point is the manner of poetic imitation. The manner of poetic imitation are narrative and dramatic also. In pure narrative manner, epic poems were written, and in dramatic manner the tragedy and comedy were written. Imitation is outward as well as inner activity. Men in action include their thoughts, feelings, will, motive and emotions, so the inner activity of men and the outer activity also are the results of inner motives. Universal truth of poetry. It is one of the most important points in the theory of imitation. Let's understand what is universal truth of poetry. Point first, imitation of ideas. Poetry is not photographic representation, but it is the imitation of the ideas. Poets represent what is possible according to the law of probability and necessity. Second point is imitation, a process of ordering and arranging. According to Aristotle's imitation in dramatic art implied artistic selection and arrangement of materials as in tragedy and comedy. Third point is possible limitation in Aristotle's imitation. Aristotle's concept of tragic character that it is better than average is not valid for the all tragedies. In Shakespearean tragedy, Macbeth, the tragic character not better than average in moral sense. The term imitation was taken from Plato and Aristotle gave it wider and deeper significance. Aristotle gave the significance to creativity, imagination instead of mere copying, and that it is different from painting. Last point is imitation was reality and history. As Aristotle argues that a poet presents men in action, if men are being presented as they are without any blend of imagination and power of creative, then it is not poetry but history. A historian may also write about the sorrows and pains and suffered by humans, but it wouldn't necessarily be filled with the emotions. Strong power of imagination required to convert ordinary and simple incidents to extraordinary events so that they causes catharsis. Aristotle's redefined imitation is the only concept through which poetry become highly effective. It is all about the Aristotle's theory of imitations, and what we gain from this theory. Aristotle's theory of imitation shows the word that it is not mere a procedure of copying things but a creative process which requires high imaginative powers. It is a process of creating something astonishing from ordinary things with the help of strong vision. A poet, hence through imitation, brings things closer to reality instead of taking them twice away from reality. First, the above discussion is that the Aristotle has encouraged the poets to write poetry. He blows a new soul to the word imitation. Plato's charges against the poets have successfully been refuted by Aristotle in his book Poetics. My dear friend, this is all about the Aristotle's theory of imitation. Hope the video will be helpful for you on the way of understanding.